Well, it's a little bit after 4:30 right now. We just got word from the Attorney General's office that the U.S. Supreme Court had turned down his appeals. So at this point, unless some further appeals are filed, then the execution will move forward a little after 6 p.m.
Tonight, the victim of the state of Texas is Bianca Adams. All around the state of Texas tonight, people are gathering to say no to execution. Stop the killing in our name.
Unconditionally opposed to capital punishment. I've protested well over 100 times.
I oppose the death penalty. In addition to, I think, it being wrong for a democratic society to take this kind of action, we make mistakes. And we often make mistakes in the administration of justice, probably often in the administration of capital justice.
I talked to him earlier today whenever he arrived at the penitentiary, and I just described him as quiet. He was interested in making some telephone calls to family and friends, but didn't really have a whole lot of reaction beyond that.
In about 10 minutes, the execution procedures will begin.
Of course it's inhumane. Any way of killing somebody is inhumane.
Well, at 4 p.m., the offender would have the opportunity to eat. At this point, he's talking with the chaplain, making some telephone calls. If there's any other appeals that come up, then obviously we'll wait until the courts sort those out, but there are none at this point. And so a little after 6 p.m., then the offender will be taken from a small holding cell, which is just outside the execution chamber, and be brought into the execution chamber. He'll be laid onto a gurney. IV lines will be inserted into both arms. Witnesses will be brought in, and then the warden will give him an opportunity to make a last statement.
First, what we do through the capital sentencing process is we dehumanize these people. And so what the state is doing right now in the mind's eye of the state is they're putting a monster to death.
3 people were abducted from a convenience store, put into a trunk, and then brought out to a field. All 3 were shot, and 1 woman was assaulted.
And we had 1 fatally.
One person named Kenneth Van Dever was fatally shot in the incident and died.
Well, I'm here in Huntsville because a friend of mine was just murdered. His name was Bianca Adams, and he was involved in a crime, but he didn't kill anybody, and the actual killer admitted that he had done it. I'm very sorry for the victim's family. I know that they suffered a terrible tragedy, but right now I'm worried about Bianca's mom, who's older, in a wheelchair, a little bit too heavy, and has serious heart issues. I'm hoping that she lives through this. The family's on the way to the church now, so they can hug him and tell him goodbye, and actually touch him for the first time in 10 years.
I'm against the death penalty. I believe in God's word. He said vengeance is his. That's all I have to say.